Hey, welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Jamie, and this will be a reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. If this is your reading, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I do offer additional content and members, so if you want to become a member, you can click join, check everything out over there. If you need to book a personal, that information's in the description of the video. If you're new to tarot, just know that not every reading is going to resonate. So if you feel like I'm wrong, please just disregard the reading. I'll pull cards like King, Queen, Emperor, and Empress. Those cards describe a personality, but they don't really have anything to do with the sex or gender of the person being described. And some folks feel like these energies are reversed, and of course you can take the reading that way if that's for you. Okay. So we have conclusions are within reach, full moon eclipse, played out, then separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. The overall energy is the Page of Cups in the reverse. I have the Ace of Wands, the Hermit in the reverse, and the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. Strength, the Fool in the reverse, the Ace of Swords in the reverse, and at the bottom of the deck, the Nine of Cups. Somebody feels like there's nothing really left in a situation anymore. Like there's no real feelings. There's no real communication between two people. It's kind of interesting because I get there's an attachment. It's hard to leave someone alone. Or maybe there's just an attachment because someone doesn't really like to be alone, but someone's learning that they really need to overcome that fear and really try to do things differently. I feel like there's still some passion in the situation with the Ace of Wands, but there's really some feelings that are lacking. So, I don't know. It's really given a really played out relationship that really should just be over. There's not really any solid emotions left anymore. There's kind of just, sex time sometimes. But for the most part, someone's waking up to the fact that realistically there's just some codependency with this person. It's very because it's given kind of on and off. two people who aren't completely honest with each other. The communication is not good. It's always kind of sharp and maybe even bitter sometimes. It's like on your end, you feel like it's just not going anywhere. You have no hope left in the situation, and you feel like it's time. It's time to go through the motions and figure things out. Someone feels like it's time to be in their selfish era, to just sort of like do their own thing here. Perhaps that this Hermit and the Nine of Pentacles needs to be in the upright, meaning someone feels they need to, sort of pull back their energy, spend some time alone, learn to be by themselves, figure out who they really are and what they really want, because I think the situation has taken all of that away. Like, it really seems like there's not much on the table. And someone's really ready to just cut their losses. Tell me about the Page of Cups in the reverse. You could feel like this person wants the separation, like they don't seem that interested anymore. They don't seem very like emotionally involved. The Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, the Three of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands. The Five of Cups, the King of Cups in the reverse, the Ten of Cups. And at the bottom of the deck, the Six of Pentacles. I feel like this person has their story on your energy as well, and it's not so different than your story. It's sort of like, this person doesn't really, like in their mind, like the situation's one-sided, like they give a lot more to the relationship, that you don't really invest the time and energy into them that they really need, that you should be trying to work with them more or compromising more to really make things happen with them. For some of you too, this person feels like this relationship should have already taken off to another level, like it should be on a different level, and they're really insecure about where it just like remains, So there's like a little bit of resentment from both people, where one person is admitting that they're not fully satisfied, that they want to be, that they need more, and the other person is feeling unheard or unseen in the relationship, and like, like it should be further than where it is. Like you're not going for the same things as them or something. They feel like that, like they should be getting married, or it should be more committed than it is, or maybe like there's like discussions about just where it should be. They could have almost like these like traditional expectations, and they feel like you don't want the same things, or like you aren't going to be able to show up emotionally for them the correct way. I don't know. It's almost like both of you see it from your perspective, but not from each other's, but you're both sort of going through the same thing here. So I feel like the main issue really here is that nobody will really clear things up. Like, I think there's just a lot of confusion in a relationship, and there has been for a long time. And things don't, I don't know. And maybe that's the reality. Maybe this person is really just picking up on the truth. Maybe you're feeling like, this isn't right for me. And this relationship's not really going anywhere, not in the direction I want anyway. And this other person is really feeling that reality. They don't want the same things as me. So maybe some confusion is being cleared up here, and that's why the separation is occurring. I don't know. I feel like, things have never really closed out between the two of you. When you have like the world in the reverse, it's like cycle after cycle after cycle. But it kind of seems like along the way, nobody's really learning too much. It's like, everybody's looking at the other person as the problem, and nobody's, really willing to, like, I think, really see things from the other person's perspective. Now, sometimes the answer is trying to. But if they're unwilling to really communicate the issue or really, like get down to the nitty gritty parts of it so that you can figure things out, then maybe, yeah, you do have to just admit that things aren't going anywhere and really make that hard decision. The Lovers is a choice. So, it seems like the separation is on your end here. And of course, these energies can always be reversed. But someone's feeling like the best thing to do right now is to admit that this shit is just not working out. They're tired of the on and off. They're tired of going around and around with a person. They're tired of the ultimatums and trying to be pushed in a certain direction and always being blamed. And the other person just kind of feels the same way. I think both people are hurt. But one person, I think just is more optimistic that things can be worked out. And it's sort of like, if you would just fucking listen to what they were saying, or if you would just do what they say, things would be fine. And they don't see the problem in that. So I really see the difficulty in the relationship. And for each of you, it's going to have a different outcome. Some of you don't completely want to close the relationship out. This is already just an on and off thing. And you feel like, okay, this is exhausting right now. It's time for an off, but for some of you, it really is this wake up, like, nah, it's time to just get the hell out of this. I'm tired of this and I just want to be happy. And that's valid. So there could be something happening this week for some of you too, where it's like, there's just an explosive energy. Finally, things that haven't been said, some type of communication that hasn't been there, finally is said, you know what I mean? And sometimes when the two people are mad at each other, they say what they really need to say. So, kind of looks like a complicated week for those who this resonates with. But, sometimes you just need a break. Sometimes things come back together. And sometimes you get a break and you realize that it shouldn't come back together. So, either way, it just looks like a really difficult point in a relationship right now, and I'm sorry to hear that. I'll see you guys soon.